Are you ready for the upcoming supermoon between the 22nd and 25th of October 2024? This celestial event promises a potent surge of energy that can either elevate or disrupt your spiritual growth. With the supermoon amplifying vibrations, it's crucial to be aware of what could hinder your spiritual alignment during this time. As energies are heightened, the effects of thoughts, relationships, habits, and inner conflicts become magnified. Many people unknowingly hold on to things that can block their path, creating unnecessary spiritual resistance. This supermoon offers a unique opportunity to release what doesn't serve you and align with higher energies. But be cautious. Engaging in certain anti-spiritual activities or harboring certain emotions could lead to setbacks. Let's explore the things you should avoid to make the most of the supermoon's energy and ensure that your spiritual path remains clear and unobstructed during this powerful period. Negative thoughts and self-doubt. The supermoon magnifies whatever energies you hold within, and if those energies include self-doubt and negative thoughts, it can create significant barriers to your spiritual progress. During this powerful phase, the moon's energy interacts deeply with your emotions and subconscious mind. Negative thoughts act like clouds that block the lunar light from reaching your spiritual core. They foster a cycle of self-doubt, creating a closed loop where you unintentionally reinforce the belief that you're not worthy or capable. This mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, making it difficult to manifest positive outcomes. Instead of allowing self-doubt to take over, practice conscious positivity. When you notice a negative thought creeping in, pause and replace it with a positive affirmation. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," change that to, "I am growing stronger every day." This shift in perspective helps disrupt negative thought patterns and builds a foundation of self-belief. To further counteract negative energy, engage in grounding exercises like deep breathing or walking barefoot on the grass. Grounding helps release built-up negativity and allows you to reconnect with the Earth's stabilizing energy. Journaling is another effective tool. Write down your fears and doubts, then consciously let them go by tearing up the paper or burning it safely. This symbolic release helps to clear mental and emotional clutter, allowing for clarity and peace. Keep in mind that doubting yourself is like trying to sail against the wind during this supermoon. It creates unnecessary resistance to the positive energy flow and disrupts your spiritual harmony. Trust the timing of your journey and remember that challenges are temporary. They do not define you or your worth. Toxic relationships and unresolved conflicts. Toxic relationships and unresolved conflicts have a significant impact on your spiritual energy, particularly during a supermoon. This lunar event has a way of shining light on the dark corners of our lives, including unhealthy connections that may be holding you back. Toxic relationships drain your energy, creating emotional and spiritual blocks that prevent you from fully harnessing the supermoon's power. When you engage with people who don't support your spiritual journey, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy, frustration, or even guilt. The key is to identify and distance yourself from these draining relationships during this period. While this doesn't mean abruptly cutting ties, it does mean establishing healthy boundaries and limiting interactions that cause emotional distress. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals who understand and encourage your spiritual growth can make all the difference. Unresolved conflicts are another major stumbling block. Carrying unresolved anger or resentment towards someone acts like an energetic anchor. It ties you down and prevents you from moving forward on your spiritual path. Use this supermoon as an opportunity to address and release any lingering tensions. If direct communication isn't possible, focus on letting go internally. Practicing forgiveness, whether in person or through personal reflection, releases negative attachments and frees up space for positive energy. By eliminating toxic relationships and resolving conflicts, you create a clear path for the powerful supermoon energies to flow into your life, promoting spiritual clarity and growth. Addictive behaviors and overindulgence. During the supermoon, indulging in addictive behaviors or habits can significantly disrupt your spiritual alignment. This period is an opportunity for cleansing and renewal, but addictions and overindulgence can pull you away from spiritual practices and create negative energy loops. These behaviors act as distractions, pulling your focus away from personal growth and inner peace. Addictions can be anything from excessive use of alcohol or drugs to habitual overeating, or even over-reliance on social media. These distractions often stem from deeper emotional or spiritual imbalances, and during the supermoon, they can become more pronounced. The heightened energy of the supermoon not only amplifies positive actions, but also magnifies negative habits and their consequences. Overindulgence, even in seemingly harmless activities, can lead to a lack of spiritual focus. For instance, binge-watching TV shows or mindlessly scrolling through social media may provide temporary relief, but it ultimately takes you away from self-reflection and growth. To avoid this, consciously limit your consumption and engage in more mindful activities like meditation, reading spiritual literature, or spending time in nature. Breaking free from addictive behaviors requires self-awareness and commitment. During the supermoon, take this time to reflect on habits that no longer serve you and explore why you've been holding on to them. Instead of indulging, practice healthy alternatives like exercising, journaling, or expressing creativity. These activities not only divert your attention but also elevate your energy and bring you closer to your spiritual goals. Fear of change or letting go. Fear of change can be a significant obstacle to spiritual progress, especially during a supermoon. This lunar phase is all about transformation and new beginnings, but resisting change or refusing to let go of old patterns creates internal conflict and blocks spiritual energy. When you hold on to the familiar, even when it no longer serves you, you deny yourself the opportunity for growth. Change is inevitable, and during the supermoon, it's particularly important to embrace it. The heightened lunar energy encourages you to release old patterns, toxic habits, and outdated beliefs. However, fear of the unknown can make this release challenging. It's common to cling to what feels safe, but doing so during this period can result in stagnation and spiritual resistance. Letting go isn't just about abandoning things. It's about making space for something new. To help ease this process, start small by letting go of a minor habit or belief that no longer serves you. Gradually, you'll build the confidence to tackle larger changes. Consider creating a letting go ritual during the supermoon where you write down what you want to release and then symbolically let it go by burning or burying the paper. When you face your fear of change, you open the door to spiritual growth and new possibilities. The supermoon's energy can then flow more freely, guiding you toward the next chapter of your journey. Doubt in intuition and ignoring inner voice. Your intuition acts as your inner compass, guiding you on your spiritual journey. During the supermoon, when energies are amplified, ignoring your intuition or doubting its messages can lead to confusion and misalignment. The supermoon's energy heightens your connection to your inner voice, making it crucial to trust and follow its guidance. Doubting your intuition often comes from overthinking or comparing yourself to others. In moments of uncertainty, it's easy to second-guess your instincts, but this only leads to spiritual disconnection. During this time, practice stillness and listen carefully to your inner voice. Pay attention to feelings, gut reactions, and subtle nudges. These are your soul's way of communicating. Trusting your intuition requires letting go of external expectations and distractions. When you quiet the noise around you, your inner voice becomes clearer and more reliable. Meditation and mindfulness practices can help strengthen this connection, allowing you to discern your intuition more accurately. Remember that your intuition doesn't always provide logical explanations, but it often leads you to the right path if you trust it. By listening to and trusting your inner voice during the supermoon, you align more closely with your spiritual purpose and allow the positive energies of this powerful lunar phase to guide you forward. Overthinking and mental overload. Overthinking can be one of the most detrimental anti-spiritual habits, especially during a supermoon. The energies at this time are heightened, amplifying everything, including your thoughts. When you overthink, your mind becomes cluttered with endless possibilities, doubts, and what-ifs. This constant mental overload not only creates unnecessary stress, but also disrupts your connection to your inner peace and spiritual guidance. During the supermoon, overthinking acts like a dense fog, obscuring your spiritual path. It leads to decision paralysis and can prevent you from recognizing the opportunities for growth and change that the supermoon brings. To counter this, focus on staying present. Whenever you find yourself spiraling into overthinking, pause and take a few deep breaths. Center your attention on the present moment and remind yourself that not everything needs to be figured out at once. One effective way to combat overthinking is through meditation or mindfulness practices. When you quiet your mind, you create space for clarity and intuitive insights. Spending even just a few minutes each day in stillness can help you break the cycle of overanalyzing and instead focus on what truly matters. Remember, spiritual growth often requires trusting the process rather than dissecting every detail. Another helpful practice is to write down your thoughts in a journal. This allows you to release them from your mind, freeing up mental space and helping you gain perspective. Once you've put your thoughts on paper, leave them there. Resist the urge to revisit them unless absolutely necessary. This habit helps you move away from constant rumination and towards a clearer, more peaceful mindset. Excessive social media consumption and comparison. Social media is a powerful tool, but during the supermoon, it can also be a significant spiritual distraction. Excessive time spent on social media often leads to comparison, envy, and feelings of inadequacy. As you scroll through curated images of other people's lives, you may start to question your own path and doubt your worth. This is particularly harmful during the supermoon when energies are magnified and emotional sensitivity is heightened. Comparison drains your spiritual energy and clouds your inner vision. When you focus on what others are doing or achieving, you disconnect from your own journey and miss out on the opportunities that the supermoon's energy provides. During this period, consider taking a digital detox or limiting your social media usage. Instead, use this time to connect with yourself and your spiritual practices. Spending time offline allows you to reflect on your own life without the distraction of external influences. Engage in activities that nurture your soul, like reading, journaling, or spending time in nature. By stepping away from the noise of social media, you create a space for inner clarity and peace. This helps you reconnect with your purpose and align more deeply with the powerful energies of the supermoon. If you find it difficult to disconnect entirely, set specific times for checking social media and stick to them. During the rest of the day, focus on being present and mindful. This conscious approach prevents you from falling into the trap of mindless scrolling and allows you to be more intentional with your time and energy. Engaging in gossip and negative talk. Gossip and negative talk may seem harmless, but they can have a profound impact on your spiritual energy, especially during a supermoon. When you engage in gossip or speak negatively about others, you create a vibration of negativity that not only affects those around you, but also disrupts your own spiritual alignment. The supermoon amplifies all energies, and negative speech can lead to a downward spiral of negativity and disconnection. The energy you put out into the world through your words has a ripple effect. Speaking negatively about others often stems from unresolved issues within yourself. When you focus on the faults of others, you avoid addressing your own insecurities and fears. This prevents spiritual growth and creates an atmosphere of negativity. To avoid this, practice conscious communication. Before speaking, pause and consider whether your words will uplift or bring someone down. During the supermoon, make a conscious effort to replace gossip and negativity with words of kindness and encouragement. This simple shift in language can elevate your energy and strengthen your spiritual connection. If you find yourself in conversations where gossip or negativity arises, gently steer the discussion towards a more positive or neutral topic. You don't need to be confrontational. A subtle change in direction can be enough to shift the energy of the conversation. By doing this, you not only protect your own energy, but also create a positive impact on those around you. Ignoring self-care and spiritual practices. The supermoon is a powerful time for self-care and spiritual practices, and neglecting these activities can create significant imbalances. This lunar phase brings heightened energies that can support deep healing and growth, but only if you're willing to nurture yourself and stay spiritually connected. When you ignore self-care, you risk becoming overwhelmed, drained, and disconnected from your inner self. Self-care isn't just about physical well-being. It's also about taking time to nourish your mind and spirit. During the supermoon, prioritize activities that help you recharge and realign. This could be meditating, practicing yoga, journaling, or simply spending quiet time in reflection. Spiritual practices create a space for clarity and insight, helping you harness the supermoon's energy more effectively. Another essential aspect of self-care is setting boundaries. This means protecting your time and energy by saying no to activities or commitments that don't align with your spiritual growth. It also involves distancing yourself from people or situations that drain you emotionally. The supermoon is an ideal time to reinforce these boundaries and create a nurturing environment for yourself. Ignoring self-care and spiritual practices during this period can lead to feelings of emptiness and confusion. To avoid this, make a conscious effort to check in with yourself regularly. Ask yourself what you need in the moment and honor that need. Whether it's rest, movement, connection, or solitude, giving yourself permission to prioritize your well-being is a crucial part of spiritual growth. Holding on to material desires and attachments. Holding on to material desires and attachments can be a major spiritual hindrance, especially during a supermoon. This lunar event encourages letting go and embracing transformation, but clinging to material things or outcomes creates resistance. When you place too much importance on material desires, you shift your focus away from your inner growth and spiritual connection. Material attachments can take many forms, from possessions to achievements or specific outcomes. During the supermoon, these attachments can intensify, leading to anxiety and fear of loss. This is a sign that your energy is tied too strongly to the external world, preventing you from experiencing the deeper spiritual shifts that the supermoon offers. To break free from material attachments, practice letting go of expectations and trusting in the universe's timing. Remind yourself that your worth is not determined by what you have or achieve, but by who you are at your core. When you release the need for control, you open yourself up to new possibilities and allow the supermoon's energy to guide you towards what is truly meant for you. Another helpful practice is to declutter your physical space. Letting go of possessions that no longer serve you is a symbolic way of releasing old energy and making room for new growth. This act of physical release can help shift your mindset and reinforce the importance of inner abundance over external validation. During this supermoon, focus on embracing the spiritual journey rather than clinging to material desires. This shift in perspective allows you to experience the lunar energy more fully and align with your higher purpose. Procrastination and lack of action. Procrastination is often a sign of deeper fears or unresolved issues, and during the supermoon, this habit can become even more detrimental to your spiritual progress. The energy of this lunar phase calls for action, transformation, and stepping out of your comfort zone. However, procrastination acts like a weight holding you back, preventing you from taking the necessary steps towards growth. When you procrastinate, you avoid facing your fears and uncertainties. This avoidance creates a sense of stagnation, making it difficult to harness the powerful energies of the supermoon. It's crucial to understand that inaction leads to missed opportunities, especially when the universe is presenting you with an energetic boost to make significant changes. One effective way to combat procrastination during this period is to break down your tasks or goals into smaller, manageable steps. Start with one small action that moves you forward, even if it feels insignificant. Taking that first step creates momentum, which can build your confidence and encourage further progress. Keep in mind that perfection is not the goal. Movement and effort are what matter most. If procrastination stems from fear, acknowledge it without judgment. Recognize that it's normal to feel apprehensive about change, but remind yourself of the greater spiritual purpose you're striving for. The supermoon's energy is there to support you, and by embracing even small actions, you align yourself with the transformative power of this lunar phase. Holding on to grudges and resentments. Holding on to grudges and resentments can significantly impact your spiritual growth, particularly during the supermoon. This lunar phase is a time for healing and releasing old wounds, but carrying grudges creates an emotional block that prevents this release. When you hold on to resentment, you trap yourself in a cycle of anger and negativity, which not only affects your well-being, but also disrupts your connection to higher energies. Resentment often stems from unresolved pain or betrayal, and while it's natural to feel hurt, holding on to these feelings only prolongs your suffering. During the supermoon, it's essential to consciously let go of these burdens. This doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened, but rather freeing yourself from the emotional weight it carries. To start the process of letting go, practice forgiveness, not for the other person, but for your own peace of mind. Forgiveness is a powerful act of self-liberation, allowing you to reclaim your energy and focus on your spiritual journey. During this period, consider writing a letter to the person you hold resentment towards, expressing your feelings, and then letting it go by burning or tearing up the letter. By releasing grudges, you create space for positive energy to flow into your life. This act of letting go aligns you with the supermoon's energy of transformation and renewal, allowing you to move forward with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. Ignoring intuitive signs and messages. Ignoring intuitive signs and messages during the supermoon can be a significant spiritual mistake. This lunar phase heightens your connection to your inner guidance, and dismissing these messages can lead to missed opportunities and misalignment. Intuitive signs often come in subtle forms: dreams, feelings, repetitive thoughts, or synchronicities. And paying attention to them during the supermoon is crucial for your spiritual progress. When you ignore these signs, you cut yourself off from the guidance the universe is trying to provide. This can happen due to doubt, fear, or simply being too caught up in the noise of everyday life. The key is to cultivate stillness and awareness, creating a space for intuitive insights to emerge. One effective way to strengthen your intuition during the supermoon is through meditation or quiet reflection. Take a few moments each day to sit in silence and tune into your inner voice. If you receive a gut feeling or a nudge towards a certain direction, trust it, even if it doesn't make logical sense at first. Your intuition often knows what your conscious mind has yet to realize. Keep a journal of any intuitive signs or messages you receive during this period. Writing them down helps you track patterns and gain a clearer understanding of what your intuition is trying to communicate. This practice deepens your connection to your inner guidance and allows you to navigate the supermoon's energy with confidence and clarity. Being closed-minded to new experiences. During the supermoon, being closed-minded to new experiences can limit your spiritual growth and prevent you from fully embracing the transformational energies at play. This lunar phase is a time of expansion and exploration, and approaching it with an open mind allows you to tap into new insights and opportunities. A closed mind often stems from fear or a need for control. When you resist new experiences, you create a barrier to spiritual progress, preventing yourself from stepping outside of familiar patterns. However, the supermoon encourages growth through openness and curiosity. To cultivate an open mind, challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. This doesn't mean diving into drastic changes, but rather being willing to explore new ideas, perspectives, and practices. For example, if you've always been hesitant to try meditation, this supermoon could be the perfect time to give it a chance. Or if you've resisted journaling, consider starting with just a few sentences each day. Being open-minded also means releasing the need to have all the answers. Embrace the uncertainty that comes with trying new things, and trust that each experience, whether it feels positive or challenging, is part of your spiritual journey. By approaching this supermoon with an open heart and mind, you align yourself with its energies of exploration and growth. Living in regret and focusing on past mistakes. Living in regret and constantly focusing on past mistakes can be a major spiritual block, especially during a supermoon. This lunar phase is an opportunity for renewal and fresh starts, but holding on to regrets ties you to the past and prevents you from moving forward. Regret keeps your energy stuck in a place of guilt, shame, or longing for what could have been, disrupting your spiritual alignment. When you dwell on past mistakes, you create a narrative of self-judgment and inadequacy. This narrative becomes a barrier to personal growth and inner peace. During the supermoon, it's essential to consciously release these regrets and embrace the present moment. To let go of regret, start by acknowledging the lessons you've learned from your past mistakes. Every experience, whether positive or negative, carries valuable insights that contribute to your growth. Instead of fixating on what went wrong, focus on how these experiences have shaped you into a wiser, more resilient person. Another effective practice is to forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness is not about dismissing your actions, but rather recognizing that you did the best you could with the knowledge and awareness you had at the time. During this supermoon, take a moment to offer yourself compassion and release any lingering guilt. By letting go of regret and focusing on the present, you free yourself from the chains of the past. This creates space for the powerful energies of the supermoon to guide you towards new beginnings and spiritual growth. Being judgmental towards yourself or others. Being judgmental, whether towards yourself or others, can significantly disrupt your spiritual energy during a supermoon. This lunar phase amplifies emotions and thoughts, making judgments more intense and harmful to your spiritual state. When you judge others, you project negativity outward, and when you judge yourself, you turn that negativity inward. Both actions create a barrier to the free flow of positive energy and limit your spiritual growth. Judgment stems from a place of insecurity or unmet expectations. When you judge others, it often reflects unresolved issues within yourself. This creates a negative loop where you project your inner turmoil onto others, preventing compassion and understanding from taking root. On the other hand, self-judgment keeps you trapped in feelings of inadequacy, reinforcing the belief that you're not enough. To counteract judgment, practice compassion and empathy. During the supermoon, focus on accepting yourself and others as they are, without imposing unrealistic standards or expectations. Remember that everyone is on their own unique journey, and perfection is an illusion. When you release the need to judge, you open yourself up to deeper connections and greater inner peace. If self-judgment is your challenge, engage in positive self-affirmations and remind yourself of your worth. Acknowledge your flaws, but instead of criticizing them, see them as opportunities for growth. By replacing judgment with acceptance, you align yourself with the supermoon's energy of transformation and compassion. Overcommitting and neglecting rest. Overcommitting yourself during the supermoon can be a serious mistake, as it often leads to burnout and spiritual disconnection. This lunar phase is about renewal, reflection, and recharging, but overextending yourself leaves little room for rest and introspection. When you neglect rest, you deplete your energy reserves and lose touch with your inner self, making it difficult to harness the powerful energies of the supermoon. Overcommitting often comes from a desire to please others or prove your worth. However, pushing yourself too hard can backfire, leading to exhaustion and resentment. During the supermoon, it's essential to strike a balance between action and rest. Remember that self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary for your well-being and spiritual growth. To avoid overcommitting, take time to reflect on your priorities and set clear boundaries. Learn to say no to activities or commitments that don't align with your values or goals. This may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to saying yes, but it's crucial for maintaining your energy and focus. Make rest a priority during this lunar phase. Schedule regular breaks, engage in relaxing activities, and ensure you're getting enough sleep. Rest isn't just about physical recovery. It's also about mental and emotional restoration. When you allow yourself to rest, you create a space for clarity, insight, and spiritual renewal. Suppressing emotions and avoiding vulnerability. Suppressing emotions and avoiding vulnerability can be a significant barrier to spiritual growth during a supermoon. This lunar phase often brings emotions to the surface, encouraging you to face and release them. However, when you suppress your emotions or avoid being vulnerable, you create an internal block that prevents healing and spiritual alignment. Many people suppress emotions out of fear or discomfort. They believe that showing vulnerability is a sign of weakness, but in reality, vulnerability is a sign of strength and authenticity. When you allow yourself to feel and express your emotions, you release the pent-up energy that has been holding you back. This release creates space for new growth and transformation. During the supermoon, practice embracing your emotions without judgment. If you feel sadness, frustration, or fear, acknowledge these feelings instead of pushing them away. Journaling can be a helpful tool for processing emotions. Write down what you're feeling and why, and then reflect on what these emotions are trying to teach you. Being vulnerable also means being honest with yourself and others. If you're struggling, don't be afraid to reach out for support. Sharing your feelings with someone you trust can be a powerful act of self-care and connection. By embracing vulnerability during this lunar phase, you align yourself with the supermoon's energy of authenticity and healing. Living in a state of fear or anxiety. Fear and anxiety are powerful emotions that can hinder your spiritual progress, especially during a supermoon. This lunar phase magnifies your emotions, and if fear or anxiety dominate your thoughts, they can create an energetic block that prevents you from experiencing the positive effects of this lunar energy. Living in a state of fear keeps you trapped in a cycle of worry and negativity, which not only affects your mental well-being, but also disrupts your spiritual connection. Fear often arises from uncertainty or a lack of control. It's natural to feel anxious about the unknown, but dwelling on these fears can lead to a sense of powerlessness. During the supermoon, it's crucial to address your fears rather than letting them take over. One effective way to do this is through grounding exercises, which help you reconnect with the present moment and release anxiety. To combat fear and anxiety, practice mindfulness and focus on what you can control. When you notice fear-based thoughts arising, pause and take a few deep breaths. Remind yourself that while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond. This shift in mindset helps reduce anxiety and empowers you to take action from a place of confidence rather than fear. It's also helpful to engage in activities that promote relaxation and inner peace, such as meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature. These practices calm your nervous system and allow you to connect with a deeper sense of trust in the universe. By releasing fear and embracing faith during the supermoon, you create space for positive energy and spiritual growth.